games coming up here on Saturday. I mean, just talk to me a little bit about what that is.
Well, I haven't hit it yet.
to have that in the
I got another
insight.
24 hours to go here, and you never know. So I'm not counting on anything yet. Truthfully, I really try not to look too far ahead. I barely know the schedule for the next day, as some of these guys would know. So, yeah.
Has that kind of made it easier for you to just not really focus on it, or just?
I think if I'm being honest, I never had an issue with it until probably the last 50, 20. I was going through some a little bit of a grind, and I was sick, and then it's it's you're grinding, so then it gets kind of close, and you can't help think about that number a little bit. So I think it got a little bit stressful, not stressful, but more in my head, and I think that one is a special one. I think for me, you look back at I look back at my when I hit 1,000 games and how special that day is for all the people that supported you and the teammates you played with, and it kind of is one that forces what she's been through. I think it's nice. You start to think about those things and all the things that people sacrifice along the way, and yourself too. I think you can't help but think about those things. And 1,000 was always big, and I think when I started coming up on this one, I never really thought about it, to be honest, until maybe 20, 30 games, because I've always said it takes so much luck. I mean, I can't. It's that's why I don't even like talking about it. There's just so many times that things happen in a game so fast, and it's I've seen that go the other way and be really bad. So I don't like even thinking about it. But as it's come, it's at my age, I think it's special to think back about some of the games that we went through that probably shouldn't have been. But I think that's what makes it special too. I think I've always enjoyed that, seeing about that, and trying to push through and be there and be a part of it. I think when I was younger, I missed a lot of games, so it's hard. You don't get them back, and just hearing some of the older guys when I play with them talk about that and talk about not getting them back. I think, and I've never really thought about points and all that stuff, but every year it's always been I want to play 82 games. I want to get through it. And, but like I said, the guys that don't, it's you have to be so lucky. It's even the COVID year I missed. I got COVID. I should have missed 2 games, but they canceled the league 3 days later. So I ended up not missing a game, and then I got cleared at 12:30. I played at 5 or 6 that day. So it's I think back about all those times, and sometimes I get really sick, and it's we got 2 days off. So it takes a lot of luck.
So that's kind of superstitious sort of side of it, that you had that kind of luck.
Yeah, I don't think it can't be. I think it's you got pucks flying around your head you don't see, skates popping up, guys falling on just the ice. I mean, there's so many little things that happen 100 times a game that are just you're or you look at your visor after a game and it's all marked up. It's a tough game. You talk to a guy that even it's been out for a while, and they come back that first game and they're like, holy, I am so sore. It's hard. Every game's hard. So a lot of luck. That's probably why I hate talking about it.
At what point over the years did somebody mention a number, you saw a number 400, 500, 600, where you're like, holy crap,
No, I don't think it really ever happened, actually, to be honest about. They probably knew I couldn't count that high anyway. So, yeah. So no, I never really did. I never really thought about it until Yeah, probably pretty recently, to be honest. I mean, I think it was I played in San Jose when I tied Patty Marleau. So that was kind of a unique thing, because he's been such a big mentor for me and a close friend, and for that to happen in San Jose was just kind of weird. And so like then you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. But really, I never really thought about like a number. Obviously when you start like catching up on those lists, but like I said, that can change in one night's sleep. For any of us. So it's you really just go day by day. I try not to look at the schedule. You're true. I really try to live day by day. You never know.
You talked a little bit about some of that luck, maybe that superstition that's been able to kind of keep that streak going for you. Bednar kind of talked to us a little bit about some of the injury that maybe you have to go through and play through to get to that point, things that maybe would keep other guys out days, weeks. I mean, talk to me about that mindset a little bit and what playing through that and just kind of that mentality.
Yeah, I don't think my wife sometimes gets mad at me. We'll go with that, but she says, I got to live with you for a long time. So, yeah, I'm going to pay for some of this later. That's for sure. But, I think it's just, I think all the guys in here have that mindset. I mean, you see some guys playing through a lot of stuff all the time. It's, but don't look any further than like what Randy went through. You know what I mean? How many guys would do that, rehab that long and grind just to come back and get into a battle every day? You didn't have to. You know what I mean? How easy would that have been for? So I think a lot of the guys you see. You go down the list. Like what he's been through. There's a lot of guys that grind through stuff. So I think it's a mentality and the culture of the sport, and you almost get. It becomes kind of fun, like seeing guys grind through it, and I don't know many other sports. You see a guy block a shot, and nobody's happier than that home bench, and that guy's like crippled on the ice, and they're guy, yeah, they love it, and then that guy's getting more mad at his teammates for laughing at him. Like it's just part of the culture, and I think you get so close to these guys and with them every day. You want to be there and a part of it. I think you talk to anybody that's out, it's the worst thing that you have to go through is to be watching, still in that same routine of late nights and eating late, but you're not getting to play the game and watching, and that's no fun. So, I think for me, I missed a lot of games early, and then going to San Jose and seeing guys like Logan Couture grind through stuff. Jumbo played games that I was like, this guy is. I don't know if he feels pain, to be honest. Like I don't know if that's censored in his body and is there, because this guy is so tough. And obviously, Patty played through so much, and he was just so present and there every day that you just didn't even think about it. So, I think those are the guys that you see it, you can't help but kind of want to do it too, and I think honestly too, it's like I've been really blessed with a lot of great coaches that have allowed that to happen too. Like there's been some games where I probably shouldn't have played, and they said, you think you can do it, and I wasn't at 100%, and they knew it, and they allow their guys to go through it and give them a little bit of grace. And I mean, I can't. That's happened a lot of games where I had no business being around there, and but great coaches that have allowed it to happen. And, I think it still helps that culture to see guys for the next generation. They see like, oh shit, this guy's playing through that. Like, this means something. I think it's a good part of our hockey culture that hopefully sticks around.
Personally, do you feel pressured to break the record now, or is it like a balance?
No, I don't even think about that. To be honest, I really don't. I think what Phil did was incredible, and I honestly think he's such a cool character to have that too. I think in a world where fitness testing and all this pressure and stuff, and obviously he was such a gifted athlete and played through a lot. But a lot of people give him grief about the hot dogs and everything else. But I mean, the guy's a true warrior. And no, I think if I was worried about it, I don't think it would even come close to happening. So I just no. But this one, I think like coming up on 1,000, it was special. I think it was pretty hard the last 20 games, ticking them off. Some other 15 to go. It gets tough. But, hopefully after this one, it just kind of goes back to normal.